Hello friends and potential friends. Well, today's the day after Christmas. It's about 12:30 in the afternoon. A bit overcast, but the temperature's up around 52, 53 degrees. And I got a mixed bag of news to show you. But I'm going to start out here where things are kind of positive. This is the south side of my house. So these two green stalks were protected from most of the wind. And these garden peach tomatoes seem to have made it through the freeze. And let me tell you, we had a hard freeze. Christmas Eve, it went down to 26 degrees and it stayed there for 8 to 10 hours. That was pretty brutal. But these nasturtiums are looking okay. I can still get some salads out of the lettuce. This garden peach might be my only tomato. Around the other side, the one that was facing the street got bit pretty hard. And over here in the salad tower, I've got some nasturtiums down here that got bit pretty hard. But for the most part, things came through pretty well. I can still get some salads out of the deal. Now, I'm going to warn you right now, if you don't want to see death and destruction, you might want to go find something else to watch, because I'm fixing to go back and take a look at the back garden. Let's see, up on the patio, I still have that one lone comfrey sitting in a pot down there. It was all drooping down yesterday, but it's standing back up again today, so that's a positive sign. Mint, well, can't seem to kill mint. And these two avocados seem to have come through it good. I guess they were protected over here. The ginger and turmeric, they're all pretty much done, but they were on the way out before the freeze got here. Off in the experimental bed, a lot of weeds, a lot of dead weeds, but that comfrey's doing pretty good. Rosemary, I haven't found anything that'll kill rosemary. And I still got pineapples up here. Oh look, there's a little pup coming up on that one. I was wondering if it was going to give me one. So I guess that one wants to continue. This green stalk over here, still doing about the same. That stuff has not been growing. I'm not sure what's going on there. I mean, this is mostly different lettuce mixes. They've been in there for quite a while, but they just don't seem to want to grow. Strawberries, well, a couple of them look like they might survive, but they took a bit of a hit too. The elderberry, it just keeps on being an elderberry. What can I say? And these pineapples out here seem to be doing fine. But the tomatoes, well, what can I say? They got bit hard. Still a lot of tomatoes hanging in there. These are the Romas, but they all froze, so they're not going to be with us for much longer. And sad to say, the same applies to the garden peach. I had them covered, but Christmas Eve, we got roughly 8 to 10 hours of freezing temperatures. And that was just too much. Now, I could pick a bunch of these off of here and have green tomatoes, but they did all go through the freeze, so instead of ripening, they'll probably just turn to mush. And the other garden peach out here look just about the same. These ones are all in containers, and they got hit pretty hard. But I may leave them out here for a little while, see if anything recovers. The patient's garden, I don't think anything is going to phase that. That just keeps on growing. Oh look, and there's even another shoot that's just come up recently. Let me see if I can zoom in on that one. Ain't that cute? Little teeny tiny thing. And that must have come up after the freeze. Over in the greens bed, the cabbage down at this end is standing up good. It was kind of limp yesterday, but looks like it's recovering. The Mishahili Asian cabbage, that was all kind of wilted too yesterday, but it's standing back up. And then down at this end, I've got the cauliflower at the far end, and this one is Brussels sprouts. Looks like it may live to see another day. The other greens bed, well, took a little bit of hit. The cilantro at this end is a little bit limp still. Elephant garlic seems to be fine. Radishes don't look all that great, but we'll leave them in there, see what happens. And then these are the eggplant, and it looks like they may be gone. Then at this end I've got broccoli and a little bit more comfrey, and that seems to have come through okay. Now over here we've got another bed of tomatoes. These ones never produced, and so I didn't bother to cover them up, and looks like I'll be pulling them up here pretty quick. And then a little bit more comfrey down here. The okra did exactly what I expected it to do. It's all gone. The few pods that are still out here are pretty much soggy because of the freeze, and then all of this needs to come out of here. And then on this side we've got kale and Swiss chard that never really amounted to much of anything, but the kale's standing up pretty good, probably ready to grow, and hey, maybe we got rid of some of the pests that have been hitting them. The red Russian kale down here and the cabbage collards, they're looking good as I expected. And I even have a little bit of lettuce over there on the far side. And now the last tomato bed. This one's gone. It's toast. These are the Floridad tomatoes down here. I did pick a bunch of them that I've got inside. We'll see if they ripen or not. But these plants out here are pretty much done for. Got Boxcar Willie here. I never did get any tomatoes off of those. And then these are the Amanas. And then finally the beefsteaks at the end. There are still a couple of small green ones on there. I picked as many as I could, but they're not in the best of shape, and they'll be coming out of here pretty soon. Now I need to start planting some more seeds, because I'm gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Looks like I'm gonna have 5 empty raised beds here before long. Let's take a quick look back in the mini orchard. Everything back there is tropical, so I didn't have a lot of hope for it, but there are a few bright spots. Okay, starting into the mini orchard, got a hibiscus there that's looking okay. The lemongrass seems to have done fine. Oh, the gardenia, I don't know, we'll have to see. It got froze back pretty bad, all the leaves are brown. but it may come back. One that kind of surprised me a little bit is this avocado. I didn't try to cover it, but apparently being nestled in here in the weeds and brush helped it to get through. Got a pomegranate over here, still has plenty of green leaves on it. A few more pineapples back here. The guava, well, the leaves are a little bit yellowed, but we'll see what happens with it. Now the papayas, I didn't expect them to survive, and it looks like I was right. Here's a couple of them over here. This is one of my Meyer lemons, and it seems to be fine. I grew this one from seed a few years ago, and so far it hasn't blossomed, so we'll see how long that takes. The loquat, well, it's bending over because of the tree branch that fell on it after the hurricanes, but everything's leaning up towards the sun again. And my original ponderosa lemon over here in the shade, still got a little green lemon there, and it still has a little yellow lemon here about the size of a softball. There's still just a little bit of green on that thing, so I'm leaving it out here. Now the other end of the mini orchard, got a couple more papayas. Not looking all that great. And the big one still has some tiny fruits at the top, but they'll be falling off along with all of those leaves. And then we'll see what happens. I don't know whether I should leave that alone or chop it down and see if it'll regrow from the roots. One of my fig trees over here doesn't look real good. All those leaves are brown. The mulberry got a bit of a hit. My other ponderosa lemon, however, seems to be doing pretty good. I guess the freeze didn't really hit it that hard. And my other fig tree that's back here in the shade, it's still got good looking leaves on it. So overall, things aren't looking that bad back here. There are some good signs. There's another pomegranate, and over here is my blueberry, and it still has some green leaves on it. And finally, back here in the corner, the moringa did exactly what I expected it to do. All the leaves are shriveled up, and I should probably chop that thing down and let it grow back again come spring. And I still got some sugar cane in there. I'm kind of surprised at that. I've been neglecting that lately. But that's where we're at after the hard freeze of 2022. Our Christmas Day freeze was the worst of it. And according to the weather guessers over in Orlando, this is the coldest Christmas we've had in many, many years. In fact, it was the first freeze they've had in Orlando in the last 5 years. So, looks like I've lost the tomatoes, but a lot of the other things are still doing pretty good. Now it's just time to clean up and start the recovery process again. Well, that's gardening. And I'll see you next time.